20 years have now passed since one of the most notorious murder mysteries in Northwest history. Mary Cooper and her daughter, Susanna, died while hiking the Pinnacle Lake Trail outside of Granite Falls back in 2006.
And since then, the case has grown cold, but their loved one's commitment has never wavered. Here's Eric Wilkinson from our Seattle sister station with the fight to keep their memory and that case alive.
Sunny, beautiful day.
It was a day almost exactly like this one. Almost exactly 20 years ago, Mary Cooper and her daughter Susanna Stodden out for a hike on the Pinnacle Lake Trail outside of Granite Falls.
And Mary and Susanna would have been, not suspecting anything bad.
But evil found them along that trail. Someone shooting the mother and daughter in the head for no apparent reason. There were no signs of robbery or sexual assault. 2 decades later, it hasn't gotten any easier for David Stodden.
I have 2 grandkids now, so I'm spending a lot of time around my 2 surviving daughters. And I think as I see how much this has affected them, in a way, it's kind of harder.
There were no witnesses to the murders, and very little physical evidence was left behind, making the trail to track the killer that much more difficult to follow.
The killer probably was already there waiting for somebody.
Stodden now believes it was some sort of a thrill kill.
I think he probably wanted to see what it was like to kill a couple people, as horrendous as that is, and saw an opportunity.
Stodden says he is surprised and disappointed there hasn't been more movement in the case.
Someone had called me up and said they were out hunting with someone, and this person they were hunting with said he knew who the killer was.
Every tip, he says, leads to a dead end.
So that might have been false information, I'm not sure.
A little bit higher.
But friends, family, and even complete strangers refuse to let the case be forgotten, hanging a sign to commemorate the mother and daughter at the murder scene over the weekend. A bench installed as well, where people can reflect.
I do think there's one thing that is really sad is
20 years gone, and David can't help but think of the one thing that would likely give his wife, a librarian, such joy.
Mary would really like to be here to read books to her grandkids.
And as the days now turn to decades, Stodden still believes the person who killed his wife and daughter will be brought to justice.
And I haven't given up, so I think there's hope.
Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.